What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Pee Wee the Plug, 1/4 through the wire, number one Knicks fan in the world, aka Mr. Know It All, and welcome back to another episode of the Orlando Magic Rebuild. We got a lot to get to this episode. Last time I saw y'all was episode 17, gameplay from the first game of the Eastern Conference semifinals against the number one seed Boston Celtics. We are going to address that and get to how that series is going. Over here, we got some conversations, but it looked like the same conversations that we had in previous episodes are coming up. Chuma Okeke isn't happy about his current role within the organization. I understand where he's coming from. He was a highlight for us last season. When I came into the picture in the middle of last season, a lot of guys, Jonathan Isaac was hurt. We didn't have Kuminga at the time. There was no Terry Rozier or Brogdon, so him and Cole Anthony kind of were the bright spots. They made the all-rookie teams, so I understand where he's coming from. Michael Carter-Williams, I don't know why he is in such a mood to always want to talk about his minutes, because he never was playing for me like that. He was never featured. Even last year when we didn't have as many people, he was never playing because we still had Markelle, we had Cole Anthony, we had RJ Hampton. So now, as a 44 and 38 team who add Brogdon and Terry Rozier, we're in the playoffs. Why on earth is he thinking he's going to get minutes now? I'm clueless about. And then our coach Udoa, I don't know why he wants to talk about the game plan every time a game comes up, but that's just one of those 2K things where every time we play a game, he's going to want to conversate and they're going to want to have the same conversations. I do plan on speaking to Chuma in this episode because I think he deserves that, because, like I said, he was heavily featured on our team, even started the game this season, but got hurt. And then once Kuminga got that starting lineup role, it was hard to take him out of it. But to the playoff tree, there we are against the number one seed Boston Celtics. We have a 3-0 lead in this series. Down here, the Hawks also have a 3-0 lead on the Milwaukee Bucks. And then in the Western Conference, Denver is up 2-1 on the Grizzlies, and then Phoenix is up 2-1 on the Warriors. But to address our series, the reason that we're getting this episode and not gameplay of Game 2 and Game 3 is because it wasn't much of a challenge. To review Game 1, though, which was the closest game of the series thus far, we show y'all exactly why we have been probably the number one defense in the playoffs and one of the best defensive teams all season. Kemba Walker did give us a run for our money. I will admit he was unstoppable and is the reason they even had a chance at the end of the game. If y'all remember, he hit the three to tie the game at 104 before Terry Rozier hit the ultimate game-winning three to give us the victory. But these two right here, who are the main problems, these two are the main two guys of this team. Kemba Walker is like the third guy to me. He had a hell of a game, and he's more than capable of having these type of games. We all know that, but these are the two that keep this team going and are going to be the reason if they win or lose. So us holding Tatum to 18 points on 18 shots, 1 of 6 from 3, only 1 free throw, is big time. For us to hold Jaylen Brown to 13 points on 13 shots is big time for us. Very, very big time for us. And as long as we can do that, then this team doesn't have a chance, which is why we are leading 3-0 right now. Another problem I want to address with the Celtics, and I'm finding out as I played them these 3 times in the series, is that Marcus Smart shoots the ball quite a lot. He shoots the ball a lot. He shot more times, even though it was only one more shot, he shot more times than Jaylen Brown this game. And he was 0-3 from 3. Peyton Pritchard is a guy that only played 14 minutes, but he hit a lot of big threes for them. And he's an outside threat who I ultimately think should play more. Robert Williams had a big stretch, and Cody Zeller. And that's what I was saying when I was narrating the game for the gameplay of Game 1, is that, like, we do our jobs on these two guys, and it's every game, as long as we key in on them, Kemba can have a big game. Because I don't think he's going to average 30 points in the series. But it's holding them, and then also making sure Robert Williams doesn't have some of the moments he had in his Game 1 where he scored 7 straight and he was dominating the glass. He was blocking shots. Cody Zeller, he can't come off the bench and go and give us a double-double. Like we can't afford that to happen, because if those two are getting double doubles and hitting threes and having and controlling the glass, and then Peyton Pritchard is hitting his big shots, and then these two also go for 30 apiece, like we saw them do to close out the Wizards when Jason Tatum had 42 and I think Brown had like 30. Yeah, it's going to be a long series for us. But on the flip side, we are a well-balanced team. Bamba was all right on the glass. And we have length, rim protection, size, and versatility. We have Jonathan Isaac, who was second in Defensive Player of the Year. We have Kuminga, who is damn near a spitting image of Jonathan Isaac. He's not there on a defensive level yet because he's a rookie, but he has all the tools and intangibles as well. We have Chuma Okeke, who has the size and everything as well, coming right off the bench. We have Mo Bamba protecting the rim. We have Brogdon, who perimeter defense-wise is very good. And Terry Rozier isn't as good as Brogdon or the other names that I mentioned. But when you play with other great defenders, you're not so bad yourself because all you have to, like Terry Rozier, he's guarding Marcus Smart. He's not a liability. He's not costing us anything. He's just doing his job, and the rest of the guys are basically above average or elite. So defensively, we do our thing. In game 2, you can see right there at the score, 113-75. We destroyed them. It was nothing like game 1, and the reason being is because, look, Jason Tatum had 21, but he got it on 22 shots, and he didn't get to the free throw line once. He shot a bunch of jump shots. Y'all saw in game 1 the type of jump shots that he was making. They were tough shots. Like, credit to him, he was making them. Same thing with this game. He made a lot of tough shots, but he took tough-ass shots. And then the second score is a big drop-off. They only got 2 double-digit scores, and it's Aaron Nesmith. He made some threes. Jaylen Brown got into foul trouble, but then I looked at the thing, and he only took 4 shots. I didn't even notice or realize, but he only took 4 shots. And then, you have Marcus Smart, 1 of 7 from 3 and then 1 for 8. It's not even the problem that he's taking shots. It's the shots he takes. Marcus Smart takes some crazy shots. Like Jaylen Brown, all of them, they kind of play like the real life Celtics where there's not a lot of ball movement. There's a lot of isolation, especially with Tatum, Brown, and Kemba. And that's all understandable. But Marcus Smart also, he takes some of the same shots that Tatum takes. Like Marcus Smart will just stop on a fast break and shoot a 3, or he'll step back 3 somebody or shoot in somebody's face. And it's just like, that's the result you're going to get because Marcus Smart, he's not like that. I mean, he can make some shots, but like it should be in the flow of the offense. But Marcus Smart will have a possession where he just shoots a 3. And it's just like, oh, like, damn, I didn't know he had the green light like Tatum or anything. So yeah, Jaylen Brown got 2 fouls in the first quarter. That's why I said foul trouble. After that, obviously no fouls right there. You see, and then yeah, we built our lead pretty early. So a lot of minutes for both teams aren't going to be high because they played the young guys mostly to close the game. Like DJ Stewart played 10 minutes, didn't play bad either. But again, we took out like Grant Williams 21 minutes. But we took out some of those X factors or those hustle players like Cody Zeller. There's no double today. We got that's not happening. Robert Williams, there's no double, no 3-point made or even attempt. Like, we're not playing those games. We're gonna cancel out all of that. Even Kemba Walker. We went in and I made sure Malcolm Brogdon is gonna meet him at full court every time apply pressure as soon as the ball is inbounded to him. 7-3-3, 3 of 11. Just not a good day for him. And again, we got out on him early. And that was one thing I noticed from game 1 is like when they take Tatum out, there's not a lot going on. And especially when Jaylen Brown was in foul trouble. So it's like when it's just Kemba Walker out there, we got to attack and we got to apply pressure because they don't have rim protection. So we attack the basket because Robert Williams can block shots, but he's like 6'9"? He's 6'8". 6'8". He can block shots, but he's only 6'8". So we attack the basket on them, and we limit them to outside shots. Peyton Pritchard, 7 points instead of 11. Only 1 3-point shot made. And we went in there and we made those adjustments in our defensive settings to make sure that we're protecting the 3-point line on a fast break, and we'll live with everything else. And then on the flip side, Kuminga had a game. If I recorded the games, I recorded 2 in game 3. Game 3 I didn't finish because it was when I played game 2, I was very upset because I played the entire game in its totality, and then I realized like this isn't even worth uploading. Like there's no reason for me to upload a game where we win by 30 plus points. It's just no, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason for me to post that. But what I do wish y'all could have seen, and if I do post anything, I'll post some of the Kuminga things. He had a hell of a game, man. He had another hell of a game. Led us in scoring. Jonathan Isaac also had a very good game. Everybody played well, but Brogdon and Rozier, they were just whatever. Because, like I said, when we got their lead early, I was trying to just let these two get a lot of minutes. Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton, Cam Thomas got his first playoff baskets. Moses Brown played 20 minutes. Al Horford played 10. Jamal Crawford played 7 minutes. Because it's like once we got to 20 plus point lead, it was just like let's let these guys get a rest. There's no reason to I wasn't trying to beat them by 60 or anything. Just let my guys get a rest. And I was letting Kuminga go ahead and do his thing because he was just taking off. But yeah, we dominated them there. And then game 3 is the same thing, and they played a little bit better. Jaylen Brown got more involved, as you can see, but we still held them to under 20 points. He had 19 points on 16 shots. He had 19 points on 14 shots. Got to the free throw line a lot more, but he didn't make any threes. Kemba had a better game, but still 18 points on 16 shots. Peyton Pritchard played his ass off. If I went in and controlled, that's what they need. I think they personally need to rock with Peyton Pritchard and Kemba Walker. He has a player option, if I'm not mistaken. So he's probably going to accept that. But like if I was controlling them or rebuilding them, I would try to find a way to move on from Kemba because Peyton Pritchard fits them good. He fits them real well. And Kemba ain't bad. It's just that like 3 isolation guys with limited offensive flow, it makes them predictable. When Jason Tatum has the ball up top, I know he's not trying to create a play for Kemba Walker. He's trying to isolate Jonathan Isaac. And that shit will work against the Wizards where Bradley Beal is probably guarding him or Rui Hachimura. And then Bradley Beal has to guard one of these guys or something. But it's not going to work against a team that has Mo Bamba protecting the rim. We got Jonathan Isaac, who again was in the Defensive Player of the Year running, guarding your best player. When he's not guarding you, Chuma is, and Kuminga is. We can switch on pick and rolls. We got Brogdon putting pressure and size on Kemba Walker. It's just not going to work against us. And even so, and even for a disclaimer for people that, that think, I don't know, but a lot of people was asking me what I play on. And we play on custom sliders because Hall of Fame is too easy. I don't play on Hall of Fame. I don't think, and I recommend anybody who really thinks they can play or want to test how good you are, don't play on Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame is it's easy. Hall of Fame is predictable. They you know exactly what they do. It's just that they put their sliders up to 50 or whatever to make them a little bit better. But I went in and I talked to Schneid because Schneid had released some new settings, some new sliders to make it more difficult and more challenging. And I told him, I'm like, no, I play with the sliders and I don't think and this was game 2. And I told him, like, I don't think it's anything with the sliders. I just think that the Celtics aren't that good. They don't make me, I know exactly what they're doing. Like, they're not that dangerous. Tatum is the most dangerous player, but he takes step back, fall away threes. Kemba Walker, he was I couldn't stop him that first game, I will admit, but the second game, once I'm like, okay, I know I'm not letting Kemba do certain things, and we start taking things away and putting pressure on him, it took him out of his game. Jaylen Brown, even he only took 4 shots, but even in game 3, he went 0 for 4, 0 for whatever from 3 because he was taking contested threes. And even in game 1, when they made shots and y'all saw the gameplay, y'all saw they made impossible shots. That's the only reason that game was that close, because they made shots that they make them, and it's just like you just have to give credit to them. So after I told him how bad I beat him, Schneid, who had just made these sliders, he tells me to bump their awareness up by 10. And I know a lot of y'all don't know the sliders, but since I know a guy who puts all of his time and effort into sliders, that's pretty much the gauge. Like that's what increases the difficulty is the awareness. It makes the CPU smarter, they play smarter, whatever. And then game 3 is the same result. Like I said, they played a little bit more better. They scored 98 points and not 75, which is a lot more better. but we still beat them. And that's what I told Schneid. Like, it ain't the sliders. It's just that the Celtics suck. On 2K, the way that they play is not. And when you look at how we play, we have sets because I don't have a Jason Tatum, which is a pro and a con. We run legitimate offense. Brogdon comes off stagger screens. Rozier comes off screens. Jonathan Isaac has plays called for him where he's catching in the mid post, and Bamba goes back door. We have alley-oop plays. You know what I mean? I just don't come up and people in the comments, they gave me my credit. They was pleased with watching the gameplay, seeing that I actually ran sets, and it wasn't just like, oh, isolation and I'ma just pick and roll every single time and just no. We play real basketball. Mo Bamba controlled a lot of the glass in the next game, or in the previous game. Was it game 2? One of these games, Mo Bamba, 13, and he really did his job, and that's what I wanted him to eliminate from game 1, because they had a lot of second chance points with Cody Zeller getting putbacks and and ones. Robert Williams had a bunch of tip ins. Like, that keeps them in the game. If we eliminate those, and we don't let role players have double doubles off the bench and things like that, and we keep making it tough for Tatum and Brown with Kuminga and Isaac, it's going to be tough for us to beat us. But long story short, game 3, I'm playing on Snipes' new sliders. And then he made it more difficult for me because game 2 was too easy. And they still got beat. And what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to make it to where I'm not trying to lose. So I'm not going to make their awareness 100. It's already on 70. His sliders that he just came out, the newest ones, I think it's on 60. He told me to put 10 on the offensive and defensive awareness is 70. I'm not going to put it to 100 and lose on purpose. Fuck the Celtics. I'm not going to give them any wins. I want to win. But the point is, I know if I was playing the Brooklyn Nets, which I'm glad they got knocked out in 7. I know if I was playing the Brooklyn Nets, it wouldn't be as easy because I played them before. Same thing with the Bucks. I'm interested to see if the Hawks finish the series. I'm interested to see how they're going to play and how we going to match up with them. Because I know they got Julius Randle. Let's take a look at their lineup, actually. If they close it out, because I've seen crazy things on 2K where a team comes back. But, okay, so they say they have Trae Young, they have Capella, they have Bogdan, they have Randle. So they got their shooters. And Gallinari don't even play. He even got Corey Crisper from fucking Gonzaga. They got all the shooters in the world. So, but I'm interested to see how they gonna play. He had a triple-double, Trae Young. We know he can shoot. Pick and roll wise, his floater game is gonna be good. He can shoot. Julius Randle is gonna be I don't even want to say a handful because he's not a 3-point threat as much as these other guys. So right there is how we're gonna try to work. We know Capella isn't an outside threat, and Julius Randle, he can make them, but I'd rather him take them than some of these other guys. And defensively, we're gonna have to try to. Offensively, we're gonna have to try to find a way to attack Trae Young, and Mo Bamba gonna have to be aggressive. But let's see if we're gonna play against them. We're gonna simcast this last game. Milwaukee Bucks finally won one. We'll simcast this last game in Orlando. Hopefully we win it, and just like even through the sim, like. Even when we sim, the Celtics just not a good team, bro. They won 7 games with the Wizards for a reason. Like, we keep it in the buck. Because I know a lot of people going to be questioning, thinking I'm cheating the game or whatever. And I should have played the last second just so we can see us moving on. But we sweep them. They won 7 games for a reason with the Wizards. So, I'm not that surprised when you think about it. Yeah. Like, I don't know. The Celtics were a disappointment, but when I started to play them, I understood it. It was like, I get why. Like, even here, Jaylen Brown against the Wizards, he fouled out and only took 8 shots and was 1 of 8. Like, that, I don't know. There's something about the Celtics. They're just not good, bro. They're just not good. They're not good at all. Marcus Smart, 3 of 13. He shoots like he's one of the guys, 1 of 8. He shoots like he's a part of that upper echelon on their team. This is another game, 135 to 107, where, Jaylen Brown, 17 points on 15 shots. Marcus Smart shoots 5 of 14 for 14 points. He scores 13 points on 14 shots. So even when they played against the Wizards, it was tough. In this game, Bradley Beal just shit the bed, so they took advantage. But what Tatum had 40, Jaylen Brown 19 points on 17 shots. Marcus Smart played somewhat better, but then Kemba Walker all the way down here only took 9 shots. It's always one of those guys that just takes an uncharacteristic amount of shots for whatever reason. And then the last couple games, they showed out. They did show out when it mattered, 28-29, and then closeout game 42-30. Which is why I'm glad. But then Kemba Walker, 7 shots for 5 points. Something's up with how 2K plays with the Celtics. But let's go over to this and see. Boom. So the Eastern Conference Finals, we're there. We're ahead of schedule in our rebuild. As happy as I was to make the playoffs, and as frustrated as I was when we ended the season in like episode 14 or 15, whatever was the last episode of the regular season, I was frustrated because we lost so many games in a row after playing a high level of basketball. I saw people in the comments like, P, y'all still made it, bro. You should be happy that y'all won 44 games. And that's right. That's true. But we was rocking and rolling. I wanted my team to be up there. But everything happens for a reason. We're still successful. And I think this is our chance right here. I don't know how the Hawks are going to play, but the Hawks seem to be as good as us. They handled their business in the first round just like us, 4-1. They didn't sweep in the second round, but they had a gentleman sweep. They beat the Bucks, who beat the Nets, who to me, out of all of these teams, they're the best team. They're better than us. They're better than the Hawks. They're better than the Bucks. They're better than the Raptors. They're better than Boston and the Wizards. That's the team I least wanted to play. So once I seen that they lost, I was happy. But then it's like, oh, they lost to the Bucks. On 2K, the Bucks can be dangerous. And I played against the Bucks, and I've had my ass kicked by the Bucks plenty of times because Giannis is sometimes unstoppable. I've played against Giannis, and he's had 40 points and 22 rebounds type shit. So now they have Drew Holiday. I don't even want to think about that. So for them to lose then, and now we're playing the Hawks, who again, the Hawks may be lethal for all I know. It may be impossible to handle, but I'm liking our chances. I would much rather play the Hawks than the Bucks or the Nets. So this is our window. This is the window for us to take advantage. It looks like we're gonna be that Boston Celtic team when Jason Tatum was a rookie, where like things fall in place, and now here we are. Should we be here? Were we projected to be here? No. But when certain things line up for you and you take advantage of it, you have a chance. So we can do something special. As long as I don't want to think too far ahead, but as long as we handle our business in this series and play as good as I think we can, it can be good. I want to finish these 2 series over here before we get to our series, because I want to know. Okay. So, Ja Morant and the Grizzlies are in the Western Conference Finals. Again, same thing with us. I think they're kind of like us. Even though Ja Morant is probably the best player between the 2 teams, we don't have a Ja Morant as good as Terry Rozier and Brogdon is. He was in the MVP running during the sim, so he's doing his thing. But they faced up with the Kings, who they're much better than. They handled their business. Denver eliminates Zion, Ingram, and Zoe. They did their work for them, just like Brooklyn and Milwaukee doing the work for us. That's all about seeding, which is why seeding is so important. They had to play each other in the first round. Boom, they beat them, and then the Hawks beat them. So if they handled their business for them, then they handled them, because they're the 7th seed. Memphis is much better than them. And now, Phoenix may win for them. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace.